They're all in, clear from the front, they're ready. They're off. Day 4 underway with the Albany Stakes over 6 furlongs, 1,200 metres. Gold Digger Black Cap away to the right, slowest to get away. Manicor in a brown jacket is showing early speed with Ipanema Queen in the yellow and maroon, and then Fitzella in a black and green jacket and Signora the blue and orange as the whole field clusters into one group. The white-faced green Sense down the middle of the track in the double green is showing pace with Bibidal in the violet headgear. Just in behind horses then, Senorita Vega in the dark blue and orange with Spinning Lizzie. Gold Digger on the right's made little headway. Fairy Oak is towards the rear as they move on through halfway. Manicor in the brown and blue leading up to Ipanema Queen. One from the right, further right, Fitzella ridden along. More now crouching low on Signora the blue and orange. On the far side, Venetian Sun on the left in the blue and white getting into this with Bibidal in the headgear, and then Awaken and Nandita and Valentina and Green Sense. Moving on down towards the last furlong. Venetian Sun out in the middle in the royal blue has moved through to lead. Fitzella coming down the stand side running rail. Then Awaken in the light blue. Gold Digger, the nose-banded Fairy Oak is finishing off strongly, but it's Venetian Sun who shines and wins the Albany over Awaken, Valentina, Fairy Oak, Fitzella.
Set and they're off. Racing away for the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup over the 6 furlongs and breaking out well over on the far side. The American Raider, She's So Spicy, and she'll lead up early on. Arizona Blaze and Ida's march of prominence towards the near side. Over toward the far side is Soldier's Heart, racing alongside Time for Sandals. Babouche is close up behind him with Carla Ridge. Right over on the far side rail is Diablo Rojo as they continue up towards halfway. She Is So Spicy on the far side shows the way from Diablo Rojo, Time for Sandals, and then came Sky Majesty. With those is Arabian Dusk, and then came Ain't Nobody. More near side, we can see Arizona Blaze with Arabian Soldier's Heart. Then Saida Darian, Strong Warrior, Berkshire Whisper. Ridden along for more is Jonquil. Ides of March behind those. Shadow of Light now beginning to try and pick up the pace and being followed through then by the filly Rayevka as they race now down towards the final furlong and a half. It's the filly the far side, Time for Sandals. More near side is Arizona Blaze from Saida Darian. Rayevka coming into it, then Shadow of Light. They're racing towards the final half. Time for Sandals far side. Near side is Arizona Blaze. Time for Sandals, Arizona Blaze. Then came Rayevka. They hit the line. Time for Sandals. Time for Sandals. Just in front from in second, Arizona Blaze. Rayevka and
18 of them. Stand ready. They're off for the Duke of Edinburgh Stakes over 1.5 miles. Got away to a fairly clean line. Nakib in the black and white is one of those up there with Satin in the dark green with the red cap moving through to take the overall advantage through the first furlong. So Satin striding on to Blue Lemons in the red and pink, and the free-going Mutter with rather lit up on the descent. The blue and white racing a close third. Hand of God with her hoop sleeves then racing on the far side of HMS President, with Nakib now dropping into about 6th position in a black and white jacket. Ahead of All Toon Loon, who's down at the running rail as they make their way towards Swindley Bottom. Siege of Troy and the Claret Silks is back in midfield and is racing on the outer of Ethical Diamond. Very pale silks for Ryan Moore. Further back to the nose-banded Alma Share to Mount Atlas, is sandwiched between horses, and War Rooms with an orange cap is down at the running rail about 6 or 8 lengths off the lead. Further back then to Tumesius Fox, followed by Brodia, and racing up between that pair, French Duke with a scarlet cap. Flight Leader is in the last group of 3 at this stage, with Stress Free in the light blue, and Max Mayhem as they begin the climb to halfway is just about last of all. Satin then and Shane Foley forcing the pace as they continue the ascent. A little over 1.5 lengths clear to Blue Lemons, who's racing in second. Mutterwid stalking the leading pair. Hand of God, the red and white hoops on the sleeves, racing wide of HMS President. Then All Toon Loon down at the running rail. Nakib in the black and white has still got a handy pitch to Siege of Troy in a claret jacket. Still Ethical Diamond sitting and waiting back in midfield, with War Rooms towards his immediate inner, and then the nose-bounded Alma Share wide. Back to Tumesius Fox, Mount Atlas, Brodia, French Duke, Stress Free, Max Mayhem and Flight Leader. Less than half a mile to go. They're beginning the swing for home in the Duke of Edinburgh Stakes. Satin up the rail now being pressed by Blue Lemon as they pass the 3. Mutterwid, white-faced Hand of God in the clear. HMS President down at the rail. Followed into the straight by Siege of Troy. Ethical Ethical Diamond, White Jacket now beginning to make his effort. Running on down towards the last furlong and a half. Mutawid has moved through. Nakib gets a seam through against the fence. Here comes Ethical Diamond thundering down the middle of the track. Ethical Diamond coming to Nakib and Mutawid. These three fighting out the finish. Ethical Diamond edging on, edging right, but asserting and drawing clear. Ethical Diamond wins the Duke of Edinburgh over Mutawid.
Is going to be the last one to load. Ready. And they're off. Racing away, just ridden away from the start with Sisene. Over 1 mile on the round course for the Coronation Stakes. And quickly into stride was Duty first in those red and white colours. Valakia is pretty keen to the inside in blue and white. Between the pair of them is exactly with the white cap. It's 2 lengths away to find Cathedral. Sisene has now moved up through the field to be in 5th place. Just ahead of now Zaragana and Simmering. And then further back Chantilly Lace. January has a couple of horses behind. Flight is currently second to last. And Kontiki, previously unbeaten, out the back of the field. They continue their journey up towards halfway. Valakia has now moved through to lead. Valakia from exactly in second. Duty first, sharing third with Sisene in that yellow jacket. Couple of lengths away to find Cathedral. Then Simmering still racing towards the inside of Zaragana. Next on the racing on the riding rail there is January. Next is Chantilly Lace in the black and white, and then came Flight, and Kontiki remains in the final position. Heads are turned towards home, racing towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Valakia now shaken up to the inside of exactly. Sisene back in third. Zaragana now looking to make her move in the green silks. Moving by Cathedral. Kontiki's trying to stay on exactly with a small lead, but quickly passed by Sisene. Here comes Zaragana, and also picking up is January down the outside. Zaragana joins in with Sisene. Then came January in third, followed by Chantilly Lace and Cathedral. It's Zaragana and Sisene. A great fight in the Coronation Stakes. Sisene to the inside, is going to win it. Sisene has won the Coronation.
They're off. The straight mile stretching before them for the Sandringham Handicap. Miss Nightfall towards the right. White Jacket with a purple cap dropping in behind horses. Among those prominent, Easy on the Eye down the centre, and a White Jacket is showing early speed with Serving with Style in the red and white. They're in the larger cluster with the white face, purple rainbow and Oolong Pubong in a black and white jacket, and Bassadanza is up there in the silver silks in that group down the middle. Meanwhile, the group of 4 over on the left are being led by Tabiti, who in turn is being followed 3 lengths further back by Mojave River, and then Never Let Go and Arabian Leopard. The larger group down the middle, Easy on the Eye getting away from us, gone 4 or 5 lengths clear of that cluster as they move steadily down towards halfway. Chased by Serving with Style and then Purple Rainbow, and in behind horses Oolong Pubong towards the right, Cartwheel with Ansar the white sleeves. Betty Clover's in midfield with Dash of Azure and Bassadanza and Cajole on the left of the centre group, followed by Saris Elka, and then further back to Sea Poetry, who's waited with him behind horses. Maroon Jacket just angling for a position. Running on down now towards the last 2.5 furlongs. Easy on the Eye, White Jacket down the middle. Tabiti out on the extreme left under the rail with a pink cap. Inside the 2 they come. Cajole in the red, white and blue is bursting through, followed by the nose-bounded Dash of Azure. A load of chances here as they head down towards the last furlong. Tabiti under the rail. Never Let Go is coming through. Cajole is bang there. Oolong Pubong and Dash of Azure are running on. Miss Nightfall is finishing off late, but surely too late. Never Let Go has struck the front. Into the shadows, the post. Never Let Go over Cajole, Tabiti, Oolong Pubong, Dash of Azure.
And they're off. They're racing away. It's 1.5 miles in front of them in the Group 2 King Edward VII Stakes. And it's Galveston who sets the gallop as they race downhill. Galveston goes on. Now the Mount of Ryan Moore leads by the best part of 1.5 lengths. So racing in second, Amilok. And then towards the inside is Minhad in that light blue jacket. A little bit wide about is Zaran in the green. They're then followed by Wimbledon Hawkeyes, now settled in behind the speed with Minhad for company. Behind that leading wave is Night Walker. Further back to Opportunity. He's currently got a couple of horses behind. Regal Ulysses is second to last, and Greenstorm is the back marker as they make their way to go inside the final mile just before Swinley Bottom. It is Galveston who gallops away in front. He leads by the best part of a length over Amelok in second. Minhad is back in third. Then came Zaran towards the outside, nearly in a share for third place. A further length and a half away to Nightwalker, followed closely by Wimbledon Hawkeye. Next is Regal Ulysses and then Opportunity, and Greenstorm remains at the rear of the field. Begin to head the way uphill. Galveston by about 2 lengths, racing towards the final 5 furlongs. From Amelok in second, Minhad is back in third. It's only in neck away to Zaran, who's placed in fourth. Then came Nightwalker, who's racing to the inside of Wimbledon Hawkeye. Further behind then is Regal Ulysses, and Opportunity, and Greenstorm is the final runner. They're about to race towards the final 3.5 furlongs, and on the sharp end it's Galveston. Galveston by a good 2 to 3 lengths, trying to wind up the gallop. Amelok in second place, the favourite. Then Zaran now just been chased along in third. Wimbledon Hawkeye's moved up into fourth. Ridden along for more is Minhad. Then Nightwalker. Regal Ulysses is trying to get closer. Greenstorm slightly impeded on the bend towards home. Opportunity now last. Galveston out in front, but here comes Amelok now to lay down a serious challenge, racing down toward the final furlong and a half, and it's Amelok who now goes by Galveston. Zaran is trying to go out and chase them down with Wimbledon Hawkeye back in fourth. They're on towards the final furlong. It's Amelok. Amelok by 2 lengths to Galveston. Zaran is trying to get closer with each and every stride inside the final half. It's Amelok trying to hold on from Zaran, and Amelok's going to remain unbeaten. He won the King Edward VII. Amelok from Zaran home in second. Ready to go. And they're off, racing away 5 furlongs in the Palace of Holyrood House Handicap Stakes. Over on the far side, Lexington Blitz has broken out pretty fast in company with King of Bears. And with those red-orange, Sue Hale Star also on that far side with Enola Holmes. And together there with Stormy Impact and More Lamb. Another smaller group with Mirror together with Realign. Engelmere is with those, and then Bodie Bear. These are then followed by King of Light. Then more towards the near side, we can see Ruby's Prophet prominent with Hammer the Hammer and Candy. Then Mr. Lightside Adrestia in those yellow and black silks as they make their way down inside the final quarter of a mile, and all to play for with the nosebands. Hammer the Hammer in the pink jacket. In the maroon is Ruby's Prophet. Far side red orange still with every claim as well, with Lexington Blitz and Realign as they race now down inside the final furlong. Far side red orange, near side Adrestia. Between them is Hammer the Hammer. It's Adrestia, red orange, and Hammer the Hammer to battle it out. Adrestia's in front. Adrestia the winner from Hammer the Hammer in red orange, and then came Jorge Alvarez. These are then